Shame on me, I really thought that it could work. Off with somebody else, off with the loser. Shame on me, I really thought we had a. Lately I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead. Yeah, lately I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to turn to. Everything was green light, now we got the red. Could've had somebody else, chose you instead. I be having conversations with myself cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. Got up in the morning, took a shot, it's a ride.
Bank
Girl,
must
you
have
left my
said no.
stomach in a knot. Took my lighter and you burned the bridge. Thought you was a rider, no you
And
just
them
a
get your
idol.
dose of
You got me feeling
I
like Big Sean in this 5, 4, 3, 2. I deserve a minute, wait a minute.
yeah.
Gotta get up and over, regain my
Kamala,
composure. No longer my lover, finally finish and
Kamala.
you did it. Girl, you really showed me, think with your heart, don't think with your body. Clap.
You're on.
Yes, good night, people. Good night, people. Especially if you decide to join us instead of looking at Kamala and Mr. Donald Trump. Whether you're in the Federation or in the diaspora, good night to everybody. Good night, Rasta people. Banky and Yason. How are the gentlemen this evening? Mm-hmm.
Well, so
Give
far so good.
thanks. Lot of rain, lot of
Giving
results.
thanks.
Oh, oh. Banky, where you say home is rainy?
It's rain and night, so plenty of rain
Okay.
come down, about 2 inches of rain this fall right now. So
Well,
the whole Navy is doing so between.
I think that is wonderful. I was walking the other morning and I saw that it was 92 degrees and it was 6 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know what going on down the way there, but I am happy y'all were able to get some rain to cool down the
Yeah, man.
temperature down there where it may see down there. Cause me say I can't even sleep good at night time. 6 o'clock in the morning, it done 90 degrees. My God.
Yeah, but then
Uh, mm,
you have the island breeze still in your car. We have choices. You can still go out and find yourself on the beach or on that tree. You have to find a cool area. If you want to stay in your ACs, you know what I mean? Depending on the luxury you have,
no,
but just get out of the house.
no, that definitely is the benefit of it. Yeah, yeah, I'm
Yes.
telling you that breeze there, it is a savior indeed. Your
Yes,
son,
sir.
what's going on with you?
Well, I'm
Yeah,
giving
your son.
thanks. Uh,
Oh,
giving thanks. I
right.
wish I could get some other. I wish I could get some other rain that Banky talking about that he getting over there. You know what I mean? Because it's pure heat I have on my side over here. So I am actually fortunately shading right now under the trees. It's still probably in the 90s right now where I am. So I give thanks.
But yeah,
And give thanks to be.
you almost won't let the fire trucker come by you right now.
Bye. Yeah, actually, just above me there is a fire station, so I guess probably truck going somewhere. You know how it is on them
Okay.
ends here. Something always
Yeah,
happening.
definitely,
True.
Yeah.
definitely.
But yeah, that was funny because they actually came in good time for real because the fire truck is one of
Mhm.
them probably really moving out for real. But yeah, man, give thanks and give thanks to be in another edition of the topics this evening with Banky and Alan as usual. It's always to me. a pleasure having that different voice. Me and Banky, even though we do have our differences, what I mean, still it's always good to have that other voice. And you usually come with some interesting topics, as the show is called,
Mhm.
DeTopiks. So I look forward to
Yes,
the discussion and the engagement this evening.
Okay. Well, the first thing I'm gonna speak about, as I mentioned, there is a debate tonight. Um, and me and Yason just before the show, he like I said, he put me brain and he know what taking place with me. And he asks why we can't get these kind of things in Mavis. So I just wanna hear first of all, would y'all appreciate having political debates rather than just the standard you could call it a town hall meeting where you're just talking to your fans? I would appreciate political debates in our mind.
of course, you get a chance to see where both people who you're voting for, how you're cheering for, how they deal with pressure or under pressure when it comes to questioning and answering questions and stuff like that. Especially if they ain't have a chance to research the certain question and you don't know it unless they know the question already. Then they have to research them. But at the same time, if it's not rehearsed, then but if it's rehearsed, then of course I have the answer already. But when it's not rehearsed, you'll be stumped if you're not really informed of what's going on, up to date. If the people around you is not informing you and a lot of different topics and stuff, and you see how you answer questions. These things are a big one when it comes to people. Some people gonna vote, they're gonna vote for but these things make a difference when some people answer questions to them, for those who are thinking for themselves, those independent persons who self-thinkers, those who make a big difference with these debates, because they want to know exactly, even though they're those, I mean, it doesn't matter who you vote for, in a sense, because when you vote, well, who going to say who vote, the electoral office still going to make the decision. Even if you get 100% of the vote, then it's still up to the electoral office. Those who want to say, I don't
Wait,
understand the
wait,
part, they really,
wait,
that's the part
wait,
I don't
wait.
understand.
Hold on. Yeah, yeah. Because I hear you with a little confusion there, and I want to clear up any confusion to the best of my ability. Wait there, hold on. I would like you to remember your confusion, eh? Cause I want to fix up that. Your confusion got to do with electoral office. So you remember. Before that, I just want Yason come in and just give his thoughts and if he feel like, in his opinion, political debates would be beneficial in a Nevis. What's your thoughts, Yason?
Yes, I am in full agreement, and that is what I think we should have been doing for some time now. I guess we should have been on that level a long time. But yes, I think that we should have that level of engagement. I would actually be one who plead for that level of engagement. I would love to see the various ministers, standing on a podium or microphone or whatever it is, facing each other and having to respond to these questions or have that level of interview and engagement instead of what we are seeing where it's that real demonstration of divisiveness. Because to me, I guess it's part of the what they call it modus operandi, and if it doesn't work that way, to some extent it's not going to work. So they have to keep up this kind of image where it look as if they are enemies and warring against each other and fighting against each other. But I think, I guess I was calling for this on the other program before, where I talk about that accountability and for us to really, we the masses, truly understand that we, the masses, need to not be so divided as a people, but in terms of from a political, partisan political side of things, and really learn to address issues and see these people for who they are, which is, which are our highest paid servants, and they use our taxes to do whatever it is they say they're going to do on behalf of us. So what we should be looking at is and listening to is which of these two leaders, um, and our parties, if you want to put it that way as well, is promising or proposing based on listening to the questions that are proposed and the situation and how they would handle and deal with. And then we make a determination based on what we would have heard, who we think seem to, be more prepared and more ready to represent us. And we function like that. And not just the leaders, but I would also love to see it amongst the other opposing um, parliamentarians. Because I know our system, and the funny thing with that though, I guess that's why I say you have to be all the other parliamentarians, because in our system, we don't necessarily vote for a president or a prime minister or premier. We vote
I,
for a
I, I,
party, and then the
I,
party choose
I
that
could help you,
person.
you know. I could help you.
Hmm.
I always say politics is local. So all you got to do is a geography thing. If me and you going for St. Thomas's, naturally me and you
Right.
supposed to
So
talk
that's why
to
I say
talk to the people of St. Thomas's. So no,
right. So that's why I say.
I just been to help you with the criteria. So just make it
Oh,
a
okay. Right.
geography. Just make it a geography thing. Politics is local. You come in is these same people you're going to represent. So
Right.
naturally, I think that there should be circumstances. I agree with what you're saying as far as seeing them together and being able to make a more informed decision. I would add to a banky say, and you could also see the credibility too. Cause Trump just say,
Right.
in America, them a kill baby after the 9 month. So you could see kind of who little. But banky, you tell me you had some
Mhm.
confusion with the electoral office. So I really tell me about your confusion. Tell me what you can understand.
You see, you always it is like you, you how, how, you, how you get to be nominated to be in electoral office? Who
Or
appoint
to
you?
to work in there.
Yeah, who appoint
Uh,
you?
um, the Public Service Commission appoint you. If you
Because you
want to
see,
know, go ahead.
because when you really check out this thing, how especially the electoral office, I mean, around here, you realize you can object to names and all this stuff, and then you go send out letters, and then you don't get the letters, and then they come off the list, and how can I take off the list, and then
No, you're incorrect, sir. So you're incorrect. I'm not gonna allow you to do that, and I
wait,
will network.
yeah, good,
I'm not
yes.
gonna allow you to do that. You,
So
you
where went
can't do
wrong?
that
So where went wrong? Where went
in
wrong?
in everything what you say. 100% of the
Yes.
words you said was inaccurate.
Okay. Well, I stand to be corrected. So correct me then. When the
Well,
person, oh, you say I went wrong.
well, well,
But,
well,
yes,
well,
yes. Go ahead.
all of this is why I always tell people you must read Brantley versus Daniel. It is an important case to read. One of the issues in that case was
Mm.
that they said that names were removed and the persons were not notified according to the law. You understand? I think they choose to use like registered posts, something like so, and there is a specific way where you're supposed to be served with the notice, and there is a
Yes.
specific time when you're supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
served with the notice, and you are supposed to be served and say, well, this person is objecting based on XYZ, because you ain't just walking into something not knowing what is taking place. This is a hearing. You understand? So
Mm.
there are protocols in place. And the fact that those protocols were not followed is why
Yes.
is why
And that,
the case was overturned. So, and this is where as I always say, when any and I can't say any party, because right now is only NRP does say, 'cause I remember NRP lose all the time. So when they
mm-hmm.
say them cheat because of them circumstances, Mark Brantley don't show you the mechanism to use anytime them cheat. It's all there. So you ain't, especially after what he give you the guideline. He give you the whole book right there. So if you know want to go do
Okay,
the work,
well,
I mean not talk about you necessarily, Me talk about people
okay,
who
of
who
course, of
are
course.
driven. to participate in this type of thing. If you ain't trying
Yeah.
to understand that part of the book there, ain't gonna work. So I will tell
Mm.
you that I feel like as though you are incorrect. You
No,
only
no. What you
you
said.
go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No,
I
no,
was
what
saying
you said just now.
I
Yes.
was saying you only would get away and be victimized
Mm-hmm.
right now if you don't say nothing at all. If you allow it to happen
No,
right now.
when I just speak in general.
I feel you.
It have to be for me, you know. You see what I mean? 'Cause these are
Mm-hmm.
discussion we people speak about. But
Mm-hmm.
we don't know how you present it now that when I hear someone wait. So you just send somebody something in the mail, certified mail, but suppose I'm away. These things don't make no sense, because we kept processing it. But I never read the case with Brantley and Daniel. But no, you put it all
Mm-hmm.
away. You must be certified. You must be served by a bailiff or whatever. You understand? To know when you're getting yourself in. So that makes sense. So if their procedure, they're not the same. Makes sense. I don't have an issue with that. You
Mm-hmm.
understand?
So
But
what
if
I'm
they,
getting,
yes, go ahead,
what
your
I'm getting,
son.
Banky, what I'm getting from
Yes.
Alan's explanation is that based on that same case that he cited, right? That
Mm-hmm.
yes, there are protocols and there's a
Yes.
procedure to follow. Now, if you recognize that there's a procedure for you to follow, then it is up to you to go and use a procedure. And if you don't use the procedure, well then, this is where I would agree with ignore the noise, because then really you just making noise because don't show you what you need to do to deal with that situation by beating you with this case. So then
Of
you
course.
can't come telling me that I cheat, however, when you're supposed to know the procedures and the step. And if you don't know, then I guess the argument is, well, what is it? Ignorance is no excuse of the law to that extent. Because
Yeah,
if you're
yeah,
ignorant of
son.
how to deal with it, that shouldn't be my fault that I take advantage of it. But that's how I look at it.
Yeah,
Even though the
son.
advantage should be taken care of.
You're telling me all these lawyers around these parties don't know the laws of when it comes to objection and all this stuff when for name removed don't know these rules. They have to know these things. These guys are scholars. I mean, I don't have to know them, but they know them because that's what they do all the time. So Alan, they don't. These people around whether it's NRP, CCM, all these different parties don't know what these rules are.
Yeah, but um,
Okay.
and this is where for me I have a divide with Ayo as Rastaman.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to objection, for example, as
Yes.
long as you are registered, you could object to name. Not only that, this is where I got beef, especially when you think in terms of what the politicians are always boast and say. We have a 90 something percent literacy rate, and
Mm-hmm.
we got some people you can't tell them they're stupid. If you tell them they lack comprehension, they feel better about it than if you tell them they're stupid. They can understand what taking place. So when you go in hard, I just kind of refer to it and say the lawyers don't know. My thing is, as a citizen, you could go and you could read these things and you could find out what going on for yourself. You only need to be a lawyer to practice it, but to read and understand and comprehend, you not need no special thing. A scientist, he got scientists does read law. He got all
Of
kind of
course.
people. You watch out.
Of course.
He got street man don't be district attorney and attorney general and all them kind of thing there. Because them man sit down and there was discipline with a book.
Of
So
course. Of
I
course. Of
just
course.
kind of want you to always penetrate because look at it again. You, if we look at it and we say, man, lawyer supposed to be, they always tell me it's an honorable profession and all these things. So I feel like I supposed to be able to even got some kind of people who filter through and them not gonna do it to the money. How me could tell you that you could see clearly in Sinkits and Nevis, most attorneys do it for the money. Who you see? from St. Kitts and Nevis ever go in at the DPP office? You see?
So what is,
From me,
so what is
from
that?
Nevis.
It,
So what is that?
from either St. Kitts or Nevis is always
So what is that?
right now, because they know you got to go do something which, let me say, ain't popular.
Mm-hmm.
We have not made the criminal justice system popular. We right now we kind of bring more glory to the bad guy, and really you not really find nobody. If man a play police and thief, everybody want to be the
Yes.
thief right now. Everybody want to be the thief. Nobody want to be the police. Nobody want to actually stop the crime. And me talk about people who invested from the country want to stop the crime. When you look at the police force and, as I said, the DPP, them there is foreign thing right now. Nobody from the actual country step up who deal with it. Even the AG right now, he want to deal with crime from the AG office. He ain't want to be the DPP. Them there is hard work, and as I said, that day wouldn't be for the money. That there is a man who genuinely going to want to clean up the street. And when you look at it, and the same thing you're going to want in the police force. But outside that, we're going to the police. So if you're looking at a system where the liars and them going for the money, and you ain't need to be a liar to understand this information, and he out there. That's how come I always tell lie about the Eastern Caribbean Court website. He out there. You not go spend not a money over read and case. And furthermore, if you build yourself and you have a basic understanding, when you come go talk to the person who know, and you're in a better position. I like, okay, if me want to plan something right now, wouldn't I be in a better position if me go find out about the tree a little bit, and me go find out some kind of basic thing, so that when me come to you go talk about farming, you're not gonna go tell me, well, this is dirt, this is a medium for and you're not gonna go tell me, you know what I mean? You want me at least come in with some kind of foundation, just
But
some
what what
basic guy.
Yeah. Alan,
what what I'm, what I'm
my thing is,
saying.
right?
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, you can't tell me because, brethren, if you're going to put yourself up in certain things, and you know there are rules and regulation and guidelines, if you're going, if let's say just move out of this and touch something else, you want to object to this, you must know the rules and regulations. Because it's not like you alone. You sit down with 5, 10, and no, no, 10 out of 10 are the top lawyers. No, no. You must have these guidelines before you must have to serve them, actually serve the person. If the person is not there, the name cannot come out. You know these things. So
Yeah,
those,
yeah, but okay. Hear me out now again.
yes.
This thing, this thing happened in a somebody private life. They won't go tell a politician. Which part of the liar supposed to come in at the story? Because generally somebody who was being victimized by the and coming off the voters list, going to their political party, right? How Miss Own, alright?
If the right procedure, if of course, if the right procedure was not followed, then you've been victimized, of course.
And normally somebody underneath, because Nevis not really deal with independent, you know. I mean, I don't know if the moral restoration movement got so much of voters. So generally you're going to your NRP or your CCN representative and tell them, and them man take off many and wrongfully, right? So which part the
Mm-hmm.
liars come in? Where the liars fail? Go ahead. I want to hear which part throughout the process
No, no,
the liar
it's
fail.
no, but those who can they know the rules and they know you must serve somebody. You must serve the person because they're
Oh,
supposed to know what the rules and
okay,
because they are on a political these guys.
Okay, okay,
Because
Banky.
most political parties have lawyers around them, right? And most of who is running is lawyers, scholars. Most of them are
Yeah,
your scholars.
but that what me I tell you. So okay, once again, me name get
Yeah.
removed illegally. I gone to
Uh-huh.
my political party. Them ga liar friend. No them supposed to go argue me. That's what's supposed to happen, right?
Exactly. So that's what
And
I understand. That's what I
So me not,
understood
where
from
is the failure?
Alan's explanation.
Where is
but that
the
what
failure
So
happened.
of the liars? Where is the you not tell me no failure in that yet? No? Because where the failure
No,
the
no, no,
banky?
no, no. The failure is upon those who take off the name, who do the
But
wrong one.
those are not liars. Those are not the watcher ain't liars. You feel like
Yeah,
everybody who work in the elect.
but what I'm saying, okay, this is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what you're saying, but but my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
But them internet no better too. That's the whole point. Them electoral office no better. So encourage them to do this thing.
No, but Banky,
by
but no.
Banky,
So wait, hold on. Before we deal with anything, you been saying is the liar fault. Now you're saying is the electoral office fault. So am I to
No,
understand that? Am I to understand that I
okay. No,
misunderstood?
no, you have to misunderstood nothing. To be honest, you have to misunderstand. We just talking street talk. We just a talk. Oh, the school children they talk. That's how we talk now, man.
No,
Division
no,
twang.
no.
No,
I
because
feel
that's how it
you.
is. Huh?
I feel
But
you,
you understand where it's from.
but yeah, but my
So you say come back
uh,
down to it like yeah.
so so
I
so
know it.
so,
We
so
are yes,
wait,
go ahead.
wait. We don't know you. I
no,
know,
no,
I
no,
know.
no,
I ain't like, go ahead, your son. Deal with him. 'Cause
no.
I feel like you. Yeah.
What I gather, right? What I gather
Yeah.
from Alan, right? Alan point out, especially with the case with Daniel and Brantley, that at the end of the day, if there's any objections that is made, right, there is a procedure that you are to follow in order to, if you're going to take his name. So this information should be mainly those people who working in the electoral office and also the individual parties, whoever they be, whether it's the independent party, whether it's NRP, whether it's CCM. If the name come off for whatever reason, whether it's from whoever side, there's a responsibility to follow that procedure. And if you ain't follow the procedure, is either you don't know or you choose to not to follow the procedure. Now, if
No,
is
no,
an if
no.
it's an
I want to add to that. Rastaman, Banky, you remember the woman named, I think, Bernadette Lawrence?
Yes. Of
mhm.
course, I know how well.
You know she was down in the electoral office?
Yeah, I know
Yes.
she used to work there at a point. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
know
Of course.
that everything will be you say? She
Mm-hmm.
should have know better than all them thing there. All of
Mm-hmm.
those things she was accused of.
Yes.
All
Okay.
of
Good.
those things, all of those
Mm-hmm.
things defined against her. So that's what I'm
Yes.
saying. When
Yes.
these people who know better don't do
Yes.
it, there's a
Of
mechanism in
course.
place.
Of course.
But
That's
but
the whole
but,
point.
but you
Of course.
no, but you yeah tell me liars I mess up the thing. And more than that, not
No,
a
no, no,
liar.
no, 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 no. What I'm saying, no, I was just speaking. At the end of the day, it boils down to the electoral office, you know. You understand? It boils down to them because they know the guidelines. Ah,
And
you
all of them are
understand
not
it.
liars,
But
right? All, but all of them are
no,
not
no, but
liars. Okay, good.
yeah, but then when I hear the lawyers would come on the radio, will come on their talk shows and speak and say, oh, they take off the name, those take off, right? You understand? Everybody hold their own point of view, but in the end of the day, there's a guideline, and that's the whole point. But people will still make what is wrong and still even look and that's just, but I got you. I mean, I have no issue with that. So the point is that everything still you see people are influenced, but at the same time, how this influence end up in a situation to influence these people do these things. That's how we see influence. You see what I mean? Because
Well, you see,
go
Banky,
ahead.
one of
Yes.
the things that I see is a problem. And listening, even listening to this scenario, I find that a lot of things that are not supposed to happen, and it has become so much that it seems as if folks may be afraid to challenge certain issues or bring certain things forward. Um, like for example, this is something that has baffled me. And sometimes when we talk about crime and criminal offenses, right? I Alan, I totally agree with you in terms of us taking time out to read more for ourselves. Because as you say, it's not necessarily, you don't have to be a lawyer to study the Constitution or to study certain cases and so on. Sometimes though, as a people, right, maybe because we grow up with this kind of, where we look up to certain people also, and so, um, you tend to wonder how certain things can be done and get through and people with it without, okay, let's see what it to. We have a constitution and we say that the constitution is the highest law of the land. Nothing could supersede the constitution. However, we have a constitutional sharing arrangement between St. Kitts and Nevis. It is constitutional. It is in the law, right? According to how it's supposed to be. However, at some point in our history, Nevis decided to breach that constitution by opting to not revenue. They opted in terms of the taxable revenues, because that is constitutional. Nevis would have decided that they are not sharing that. We are going to hold what we make in Nevis, and St. Kitts hold what they make in St. Kitts. And further, when it came to the VAT, which is another taxable constitutional sharing arrangement, Nevis again has opted to not share that and just hold what they hold in Nevis, and St. Kitts hold what they hold in St. Kitts. Then we hear an argument about something that is not constitutional but should be shared, and we're arguing for fair share in that regards, but disregard the sharing arrangement is constitutional. And I have never heard any legal minds, all of the top lawyers that we have in the federation and in the different parties, seek to challenge this constitutional breach. Why is it? I mean, is there any place for a case like that to be brought forward, Alan, from a legal standpoint? I know you might be more legally minded than I am, but from my vantage point, I see that as one of the biggest law breach that you could have, because it's not just the common man making this breach of the constitution and breach of the law. This is
Um,
our highest paid civil servants breaching the law.
um, well, as you talk about the Constitution, once again, the Constitution provides a mechanism if there is any issue between the federal government and the NIA, they could go to the High Court. I always tell you the states and them in America does sue the federal government and so. Florida does sue America, you know, all the time. Texas does sue America. Oh my God, Texas does sue America. California is a democratic state and they just sue democratic presidents when they're in there for things what they want. This is what has been taking place. Have you all heard the NIA take the federal government to court over the fair share? The only
No, but
time
hold on, hold
that,
on, hold on, hold on. Let's make this point clear. And I think there was a program which I listened to where the premier made it clear that his argument for fair share was only in regards to the CBI shares.
that's the man. No care how
And as
German.
that constitutional. So I don't
That's the
see him
point.
going to. I don't. What I'm saying is, in terms of the fair share argument, remember it's his party who stopped the constitutional to be that stays in that, well, whatever,
Rastaman.
all was supposed to be pooled, and then we're
Rastaman.
supposed to get 27%. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
in any issue, no care how you want to describe it, no matter how you could talk in a low voice, you could talk hard, no care how you want to describe it. You could put on any amount of qualifiers you want. If there is any issue to be determined between the NIA and the federal government, go to the High Court. You could go to the one in a Nevis, you could go to the one in a Sinking. You want to know what the fair share be?
So wait, hold on, Alan. So Alan. Hold on, hold on. So you're telling me that the breach of the Constitution don't mean anything. That means you could just breach any other constitutional rights then.
Sir, I am saying to you that when your constitutional rights are breached, where do you go
No
for
court.
redress?
No court.
If
That'd be the
your
man court.
individual constitutional rights are breached, where would you go to get redress? Where would you
So
go
you have
To,
to
as an
to,
bring it
to
back.
the
individual?
court. But
Yeah,
but
but we
but
back to the
Hold
basic
on,
Alan,
hold on,
again.
your son, hold on, just hold on, because you want to understand. You as an individual would go there. What I'm telling you, in the Constitution said that if there's any problem, not just for individual, it says specifically if the NIA and the federal government have an issue, come to the court and we will resolve the issue. Me nah say that the breach is bad or good or in a matter or nothing. I'm telling you, if there is a breach, no care what kind of breach, whatever it be, if you want it to be resolved, go to the High Court. If you want to know if it's a bad breach and it's the most awful breach ever, go High Court. If you want to know if it's just a small little thing, go High Court. But whatever answer you are seeking, sir, is at the High Court. Once again, they could go the one in a Nevis, and then could go the one in a Sinking. But only there they could get the answer. And
So
however
yeah,
bad it
son.
be, it's only there.
Yeah, son.
but
So you know,
what you have just pointed out, Alan, you have just said is that technically, the then is just making a bag a big PSU. Technically, what
that's
you're
one
saying here,
point. That's
No,
one
no, no, no,
point.
no. Watch out,
technically,
watch out, watch out. Watch out.
no,
Don't tell me no.
no,
Watch out. Me
Alan,
not say.
wait, hold on,
No,
hold on, hold on.
Me not say so technically. Don't give me no technically. That's what me say, and I've been saying it for years.
No,
Not
the
no
man is
technically.
Okay,
That is
so
my position.
because why I'm saying this is what we just point here. A breach was made, yes, and as you say, whoever got the problem, right?
If
No,
you tell if you tell me if you tell me
no. Why
Nevis if you
whoever
tell
got the
me
problem,
Nevis no play,
this can't
if
have
you
the
tell me
problem, you know.
Nevis no play, SK could sue them. If SK said that Nevis not
So,
pay, I wasn't paying, SK could sue them. If Nevis said they not get a fair share, Nevis could sue them. Whatever issue you want to start with, if you're man enough, now remember, you got people what celebrate when they win election petition and talk about I got cars and all that kind of thing there. They will fight for themselves. This is fighting for Nevis. Pandawanya. Me ain't see nobody fight for Nevis. I may see nobody fight for St. Kitts. All them a tell her is everything is good between them. If they got issue. Cause it's the same way in America when they got issue. That's why they got the Supreme Court. You know? Me not tell you nothing different than nowhere in the world. You know? If you got issue, you go to the court. The premier keep on tell her so. When the premier got a problem with people, where he go? Like outside of Facebook. Outside of Facebook, where he go? Ain't done by the clock.
so
so yeah,
what we are seeing
that's
is
done.
So no,
Don't you hear the
see,
man
see,
telling you? The man telling
I
you,
mean that a
they
law
gotta let
has
it
been
go.
broken. No, no, no. So we got to look at these things, and we have to, and this is why I'm exchanging this debate here, because these are discussions that one of the things I'm saying is it has bothered me for so and here is the law that we say is the highest law of it has been breached, whether for good or bad or whatever it has been breached. And as Alan pointed out, if either of them had or have a problem with the breach, what the procedures are. So the fact that none of them have done that, then that means it is fair to say that it is okay for them to break the law, but we, when we break the law, we should suffer. And so when we talk about crime, and the issues of crime. This is why I'm bringing this, because a lot of the time we focus on the average man and the street man crime, but then there are these white collar crimes and these what is a spiritual wickedness and spiritual whatever in high and low places. So this is one of the crimes at the highest level, and then we hear the cry for fair share only out of the CBI. And the reason why, when you were talking about them bringing it to the court, Alan, you don't expect Nevis to try to bring that to the court, even though Nevis, those who representing Nevis right now, is arguing for fair share, because it is those same people who stopped the constitutional sharing arrangement. So they ain't going to take the federal government to court for something that they do. Is CCM stop the sharing agreement, and is CCM stop the VAT sharing arrangement. So they're not going to take the court for that. The CBI is what and the only thing that the Premier has been arguing for in regards to fair share. And people need to understand this. This is something that I don't think a lot of people understand, but I just bring it on you that here is it that we say the Constitution is the highest law on the land, and the Constitution has been breached for a number of years now, and nobody have opted to do anything about that legal battle. But
Indeed.
one side is coming to say that they're arguing for fair share and trying to use that as a premise to win election and to try to make the other country look like they did something bad.
No, no. Listen, listen. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about my premier. Don't say that they use it to try to win an election. They use it and they win several elections. At
Okay.
least three of them.
Thanks
You
for the correction.
understand?
Sorry.
I
Yes.
guess.
Yes. Yes.
I gotta protect
Yes.
my premier. That's my goal. That's my
Yes.
goal.
So
Yes. Yes.
you're telling me, okay, hypothetically, since that case, how much election went since that election?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Good. And within those six other election, nothing like that ever happened again, and nobody just chose to challenge it.
There was a challenge made during the last election, but it was out of time.
Good.
The
Okay,
file one day too late, so we were unable to be entertained.
I got you.
Yeah,
Deadline is deadline.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yes, on your earlier was talking about with the breach. The amendments can be made when the sharing of the revenue share was changed with the VAT and all that stuff. What do you have to make amendment with the constitution for that to happen?
Um, well, this is a
Can when you fight a
conversation.
breach, when you fight a breach, what you have to make amendment? When you make amendment, then it would, and the amendment is done right. As Alan, would that be, they would consider a breach? Can you saying it's a breach? But if amendment
Okay.
was made, before this have to happen. I'm just saying, because I want to remember when that situation had happened. I think they had went to make some changes in the thing there, so parliament and stuff like that.
The reason why I choose to tell your son that regardless of the circumstances,
Mm-hmm.
is the court going got to decide is
Of course.
just for that reason there. Because there's
Of
so much
course.
of little things where you could come and you could tell me, well, suppose this and suppose
Of
this.
course.
But what need to happen so that we know certainly and for sure is that somebody in a one of the government them need to get brave and let the judge rule. And at that moment in time, we will have something concrete where we could say, this is what we're dealing with. But until that time,
You're just getting
um,
games.
it
You're
gonna
just
it gonna be just a lot of hypothetical scenarios, and
of
you're gonna
course.
tell me,
Of
well,
course.
what happened to this? Because I don't feel like the premier would have a case when it comes to the fair share. I believe what the premier is suggesting that I believe even what he here suggests ain't constitutional.
Yeah, but you
Be-
believe you know it, I just believe. You know it, I believe. Which is it? Can't believe me, you don't know,
uh,
you know. You
uh,
believe,
uh,
I you know. Which is it?
uh, but you see, I keep on telling you, until a judge says so, nobody know. It's for
I got
this is this is why you observe the information, and according to your interpretation, you
you.
literally say, this is what I believe, and you argue within that direction there to make what you believe turn into a reality. So you got to think for yourself. You just got but you got to know basically what the issues be, and
So you're telling
then
me
uh,
the experience of the judge and the experience, if I'm an experienced lawyer at a level for 40, 50 years, and the experience of a judge to interpret something of 5 years, are you gonna rely on the judge to make that decision when in a sense when it comes to experience? So you're telling me these scholars of lawyers wouldn't know, they don't know what to interpret something, the judge gonna see different than how them see it? This is what
that's
come you
not.
come in with like
Or
yeah.
you see you
No,
feel
no,
like
no.
you Banky, you feel like you're coming with something now. Here's what I'm letting
No,
you
no,
know.
I'm
The,
just
the
I'm
role,
telling you for nothing more.
sir, the role of a judge is to
Yes,
interpret the law.
of course. And a
So, so,
liar
so,
what?
so
A liar job is
argue,
what?
argue
Argue the law.
to create legal argument.
Not interpret the law, not interpret the law.
In some
If you
cases,
if you slow down,
in terms of the judgment,
Huh?
now I was saying at the end of the day, at the end of the day, the judgment now, based on what the judge do, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
listen to lawyers or a set of lawyers, he would then conclude based on the information presented to her what he or she interprets from the arguments, and then when he or she makes a ruling, then that is when whatever it is they were arguing about, whichever side or whichever one she is more convinced, if she chooses to take some from he say and some from what he over there say and put it together and come together with their conclusion, that is when that
Mm-hmm.
becomes something that everybody now has to respect or deal with. So,
that
um,
that when it become
back
what they
to
call precedent.
right. So I like know, like remember for all the years where um we had our views and opinions where cannabis is concerned. Sankofa went to courts and was able to get a judgment. Sankofa's case has become
Of course.
precedence, and that's why also
Yeah.
he technically forced the government to move forward and to do something, even though they still breach the constitution in certain they try to do so address some of what the judge um, prescribed for them to do within that realm. Now, back to the case with the breach in regards to the fair share. So, technically, even without a judgment, anything is going to be discussed in regards to the CBI shares, any arrangement that they come with is not going to be constitutional unless they are going to put that into the books along with already the council and or if they're going to include that with the VAT and the other taxable things that we should have, that the Navy government to stop. So that is where the things. And I think personally, sometimes when I listen to responses from the Prime Minister in regards to addressing the fair share matter, get the impression that that is one of the things why the backs is there. As I think the PM is not just looking at the CBI, he has to look at the sharing agreement and a holistic approach. Because there's nothing constitutional. It was just a Charleston a card that they signed, which is not constitutional. So he can't just look at sharing that and use the same yardstick that you opted to not use. He has to. So to me, I think is the approach that is right now in regards to the fair share. However, I still understand how a serious breach like could be for so many years, not challenged, not discussed, not highlighted, but one is still arguing for fair share and making it look as if that is disadvantaging.
I feel like. But here what going on now. I'll be a come off of the fair share thing, yeah, cause I'll be can't be talking about too much of federal issues. You know what I'm saying? Um, um, gentlemen, last week I get some word for expressing some of my disappointment at the at some of what I hear from the NRP candidate. Then. And I want to reiterate some of what I say. I'm not tired of what yet. Yeah. I want to know from I if I hear anything wrong in my perspective. I could talk about Pat, Miss Bartlett last night. And I even made a post because she commented on my post and I explained to her that you could either tell Harvey what the problem be and just left it there, or you could tell Harvey what the problem be and how you feel like you're going to fix the problem. I feel like he got too much of whining and moaning and complaining in Nevis politics. And I feel like when you whine and moan and complain and cuss people, that you end up on lose. Because nobody could have tell me that Johnny's a gonna be Zook. Not how Zook attack. Zook gonna tell you he gonna be the deputy premier when the premier out of the country and all them thing. If when you watch Zook campaign wasn't no policy. Zook said he thief down in the Virgin Islands. Nobody to talk to him. Nobody to talk to him. She don't know nobody. She don't talk to people. He not been a talk about no issues and end up and lose. The premier start to call all kind of woman long face and all kind of thing. What a man could cause a man. And he wins still. Of course, my goat is gonna win. But it was a lot closer than what he and I are accustomed to do.
You're being frightened.
You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm wrong for suggesting to the politicians that them stop cuss and deal with aesthetics and say how that one over there look, look how much damage he do to the country. You, I feel like the people are willing to hear our policy prescriptions to solve their issues. And me just wrong. Me last.
In order to control the masses or the majority of the people, you gotta keep telling them stupid missing now. So entertainment is good. When you find, I love to listen to debate. When you find a man a cuss and call name, them they feminine entities and stuff like that. You understand? Them not come. Me not go if I'm going one on against you or your son. Me not time to cuss as a boy. Me not time for all that. But I
So
talking
wait.
issues, brethren.
Hold on. I
I
want to ask you a
speaking
question. I
yeah.
want to ask you a question. So if suppose I was to go up on a cruise for 10 days, right, with
Uh-huh.
my wife and so, and me
Yes.
just come back from my cruise, and me decide me going on Facebook,
Yes.
and somebody ask me when they gonna get the money from Culturama. If me a cuss with them 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock in the morning before me reach out work or the neighbors people and them, that's a feminine attitude. By
But
cussing with people.
when would a man act like that for? What?
Listen,
You
I just want to make it. I
but
just want to understand.
when would
I
a man
just want
act
to
like that?
understand.
But if me a man and you ask approach me and say, well, man get pen, I'm in a position to make a difference or whatever as a man. I gonna come on Facebook. I wouldn't cuss you in make stuff like that.
Well,
You say, you
suppose I is a kind of man where I accustomed to people tell me like nice things. I like to hear nice things in the morning. You don't even wait till 10 o'clock after 10.
these are female tendencies. These are female tendencies. You got my female tendencies again. When I hear nice things all the time for? Does that make sense? When people are fake then. But you understand? When people be negative, I use that as positivity. Can everybody not be nice to you? You can't live in a world that is evil. If you are in a position of public figure and everybody supposed to just can't speak their mind, why can't I speak my mind? I know people call me and tell me they get papers since last year, culture and this and different culture man just gone again. For driving bus and services taking on artists and so what came in for last year culture man, then I get paid yet. People found up in Rollins area who came on artists calling me and tell me what's the man I talk about all these things. But that is not my responsibility. But still, I'm just saying, they ain't get paid yet. We're drained. The people who ain't get paid from this last year culture So if them people vent, they can't vex with the people to vent for them things there. That's the reality, but we are very sensitive around here. I don't realize that, man. I don't realize the men them around here is worse than female. That's why the hours up inside of politics, the men them, they end up because they want power. They just love, they love this smelling each other. Cause me no love to be on a drunken man. Why you just want to me understand that? My brain can't process that brain drain. Cause I don't get it. These are just hormones, testosterone. Them they love the same more than woman. Trust me, they're more woman than woman than them. Trust me upon that, brethren, because I can't see why a set of man as well up on each other like a so without the woman around again. Nah, look what they go on. I don't pay
No,
attention to
you're
the brethren.
no, you're wrong. You don't see the
But
lovely
nothing wrong with you saying me wrong in the brethren. Nothing wrong with you
the,
saying me wrong in the brethren. That's fine. But the
the,
way
the,
how
the,
these
the,
men them go on, they're female brethren. I grew up with, I got 6 sisters, And my sisters them act like us some brethren. The man they go on worse than females. All of them. Listen them good. I don't pay attention kind of females go on. I got girl children, these men around here go on worse than females, virgin. And they go through the whole Caribbean. Listen them, how they go on, how they
so
cuss, how they
so
act.
so
All the
Banky, what you
females
want to
know.
say? So Banky,
Yes.
um,
Hey.
so when you got daughters and so it make you a little relatable when you go tap into your feminine side. Is all bad? Tell me, that one.
No,
Educate.
not every day thing like not every day like a that, virgin. Every day dedicated to that. Every day so,
So
virgin,
Banky, wait,
dedicated to that.
hold on. Banky, hold on. So you're telling me
Yeah.
that if
Mm-hmm.
he had somebody and this
Mm-hmm.
person was a liar who accustomed to
Mm-hmm.
win big cases, and this
Mm-hmm.
man would go and this man would announce and say, "Breaking news."
Mm-hmm.
Um, this and that
Love
has been
attention,
ordered
virgin,
to.
love attention.
So so
Love
so. Uh,
attention.
so you're supposed
They
to
love
go
the
on like
fun.
you're
They love
accustomed.
the
You're
fun.
supposed to more like you're accustomed to things.
Okay, Alan and
Go
Banky.
ahead, talk to me, talk to me.
I am going to come in here now, and I am going to shift the feminine argument, right? And
But
I am going to take it
Jason,
back
Jason,
to
let me
the,
say,
wait no, hold on
Jason,
one second,
Jason,
Banky.
yeah, yeah.
I just want to get
I
to
want to make
the
disclaimer
reality
first.
that, oh, go
Yeah, but I
ahead.
want to make disclaimer too. I want to make disclaimer. I have no issue with no men who have the feminine side and whatever it is. I have no issue with these things. But I know when I see these things, I pay attention. You understand?
You
So
just pointing it out. You
I
just
know
pointing
that.
it out. Okay.
I guarantee
So
most of these men who act like that, they spend more time in the mill than their wife. You can see it. You can see how they take care of themselves. They spend more time than they getting ready for them and the girlfriend or whoever they're with.
No, I see the premier TT couple days ago. The premier not take care of himself. He ain't taking care of himself. If he was taking care of himself, he would
Yeah,
have been
yeah,
looking. No.
you're dry people name with these things, yeah.
Okay,
Right. We just attack. Bringing people things.
I
Man,
take it back. I take it back.
you're
okay.
real
I take it
chump,
back.
you're real
I take
chump.
it back.
You're real chump, you know, you're real chump boy. You ain't killing yourself, boy. Man, you're real chump.
Okay.
I'm
No.
telling you,
So
you just
what I
go
was saying,
yourself.
right? What I was saying, right? My thing come back to the accountability side of things. Where
Yes.
okay, many people might know, but I would have also been on this side of being a promoter, bringing in artists and so. You know what I mean? One of my last big promotion would have been Busy Signal. I think it's 2009. Me and Ibal and a couple other people had bring Busy Signal Nevis, right? So I know that side of it. Now I also know that these guys, when they're moving, they have a contract, and a part of their contract, there are some stipulations. They want certain things. They want a certain amount of money up front. Seem like a sticking, you know.
No,
It seem
I
like
be
a
go hear you. No,
frozen.
no. I be go hear you.
Guys,
I be go hear you.
your
I be
voice
go
is
hear you.
good.
So,
Huh?
The
yeah, yo, we go
I
hear you.
continue. The sound is good. The video
Yeah,
is
it
sticking,
seem
but the
like I
audio
got
is
a
coming
little.
through. You're
Yeah,
good now.
it
You're
look
good.
like
That's
he
good.
can't. He can't. It look like he can't hear Benita, man.
Can't hear now.
He can't be. He got to be. He got refresh. Banky.
Yes.
I be want to give you a little sidebar.
Guys.
While we're up on the topic of examples and feminine and all these kind of things.
Mm.
Um, People supposed to know he got this thing named Navy Shade Room on Instagram.
What? It
Navy
is what?
Shade Room. Shade Room.
What is that?
Um they just post up different happenings
Mm.
through the country, you know. And
And what the
they
ladies
posted
doing?
that one recently, and I been feel so strongly about it. I had to comment. I want to know what you think. If I was to hash on the lady, there
What
was
was that?
a lady there. I think she's from SK,
Mm-hmm.
and she would have been on there, and she's saying and she and she's saying young ladies, if I go with any man, I ain't about to go with them for free. Be a prostitute. Be a prostitute. That's what the woman say, man.
Yeah.
Um, of course, there was a reckless young lady. She went underneath the post, and she was asking, well, what wrong with that?
Mm-hmm.
And my response was, this is part of the problem with the community, as far as some of the elder ladies. You can't be a compete with the young ladies. And furthermore, are you supposed to be setting an example to them?
But what age?
And I do.
What age you mean?
uh,
What age you mean when you say compete? What age group you mean compete with the younger ladies? What you call older ladies? From what age go up? You mean?
Banky, if you're in your 40s, what are you doing competing with the young
I'm
girls?
just asking. I'm just asking.
And watch out.
For some
Furthermore,
people, for some people,
no,
40 is like in the 20s, you know,
listen.
especially.
Hear what me I try to tell these ladies to, right? I'm
Yes.
not saying that you ain't got no sex appeal, you know, but you appeal
Yes.
different. It's a totally different scheme. You're supposed to done got like certain things going organized within your mind and within your life, and so it's a totally different experience. You got it. You got man who don't like to deal with some of the conversations that's like taking place with these young ladies. But anyway, my vibes is, and pan the NIH she been end up kind of No, the young lady was like, well, suppose a joke she a make. And part of my thing banky too. Certain
Mm-hmm.
joke, certain joke where I get run in the community and we a laugh after and a he after, those end up be causing problems later down. And I feel like it's the responsibility, particularly of the man and them in the community, who when them see certain troopiness a go on, who try cut it out
Mm-hmm.
immediately. So I mean I've been on the woman case, but upon everybody case in terms of feel like the elder ladies they fail in the society and some of them and them too. You're not supposed to be on the block and see someone shopping is going on and just there laugh. Cause that they're gonna end up to be serious things. You go cut it out in my estimation. So I was
Yeah,
too harsh on the lady. I was too harsh on the lady. Maybe I will tell
well, I
she
mean,
said.
the lady, I mean, she have an experience why she voice her opinion like that, and
Mm-hmm.
why she think like that. When people speak
Mm-hmm.
a certain way, it's obviously there's something trigger them down the line for them to think like that. But at the end of the day, as adults, once you're an adult, you have your choices you made. You know, don't really gonna affect you. So even if somebody comes and say, oh, if you go with a man or whatever, any man or female or both or whatever scenario she is, make sure they pay you whatever. I mean, directly yes, you ask him upfront for your pay, but you might be doing the same thing, taking somebody to a movie for a drink to eat for dinner. Boom. But you didn't pay you're paying in different ways. You see what I mean? But I understand what you're saying. You're just going around. But with all these are now things going on within our society. But who gonna follow and take our advice? Or who had any different whatever reason, trauma, will just what, oh she writes, maybe what she said then, because she can probably influence other people too, who just was on the verge and I mean going through the stress and stuff like that and say, what? She writes, maybe do what she said and stuff like that and get this and then regret it. So people got to make sure always think for themselves. That's the key to do these things. We live in a society where everybody jump on social media, and if you're gonna speak, basically speak positive and to encourage people than to be negative, and then you can somebody harm themselves because of what you see down the road. So people got to be careful. So, but I understand the world that we live in. People gonna have their own views, but I try to look at stuff at different direction at the same time. But people at the end of the day think for themselves, have decision for themselves. But I can't tell you was wrong for me to comment. I mean, it's a public platform, so you have a right to comment too. You understand for your views and these things. We can't just look at things one way and you want people to share their views. That's what you understand. Suggestion and you understand. But some people just want to see everything positive and say one negative, and for the whole night they can't sleep because there's one negative, but everything else is positive. But it don't work like that. You know what I mean? Somebody can comment, I ain't gonna worry about that, but that's just my that's what you think.
Well, I missed out on a good bit of the conversation because one, I shifted location, and two, I was having
Oh,
some sticking issues. So I just heard when I came back, I heard Alan talking about something about the females, but I didn't know exactly what
Okay.
he said in terms of the
So,
comment or
so
anything like that.
so let me tell
yes.
you, there was this woman.
Mm-hmm.
She was watching football or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
she vibes is she advice for the young ladies is don't give no man nothing no free. Be a prostitute. You understand? Sell the thing wherever it be. Make sure if you want to give up something, you're getting some kind of financial services in return. And when somebody commented and they was like, well, suppose the woman I make joke or wherever it be. But my position is me not feel like certain jokes supposed to run. You check? Especially
Mm-hmm.
there are some women in a society where maybe me look at them in more respect and more high esteem than which part they wanna
Mm-hmm.
be. But I feel like they got a responsibility to the young woman and them, who not be a certain kind of choppiness there. Me understand the rest of my might say like she come to she trauma so. Me only say my position is that they are
Of course.
choppiness. And me not
Yes.
see. Even if it's a joke, that is not a joke what me feel like supposed to run. But what I wanna know is you feel like I'm being too harsh. I, I asking for too
No,
much.
I think just like you said, sometimes okay, taking it into context, I guess some people would act and react different, right? However,
Mm.
your personality, I know your personality is one of, you know what I mean, just being straight to the point, being a straight shooter and just hit it. Um, so I don't necessarily have a problem with that. Some people might have a might not say anything either. However, when you gave the explanation of the point where, hey, yo, you know what I mean, if you're on the block as an adult and you see some youth doing certain things, you know what I mean, you let them know. And this was like my philosophy evening teaching, you know what I mean. And that's why a lot of me youths who I teach still up to today still just respect me because me and you could be cool and we could be here sitting on cooling out and you know what I mean. But if you're going to go do some stupidness, I'm going to tell you it's stupidness. If you choose to go and do your stupidness, then at least I know that I have done tell you by that is stupidness and I don't think that is the stupidness you should do. So if you go do it, then you can't come vex with me, you can't look at me in a way and feel the energy because you opted to do whatever you choose to do. But I know that as the adult or the person who have a different view and probably have the experience would have interjected to say, yo, why a foolish is that? That is a foolish idea. I wouldn't follow that. I wouldn't, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that is my position as well. And I think more of that needs to be done in society. So, for you to call out the person, I wouldn't disagree for you to call them out and say, no, a stupid is your talk. And as an adult, however you look at them, I expect you to be pushing a better energy. It don't mean that the person might accept what you say and they might even want to cuss you or whatever, but at least you would have interjected that in the thread and other people might agree with you as well too. You know what I mean? Because you know your social media and whatever. So yeah, that's my position as well. You know, so sometimes you know as I understand banking, sometimes you know you might hear somebody say something and you might just pass over it or whatever. But at the same time too, there are some people who would be more minded and would say something. And I guess in our society, I think that is something that is more needed because I would agree right now and say, even within Rastafari ourselves, many more of us within what's going on with the crime and they need to step up and give their views and opinions and you know state their positions and yeah, this when we were growing up, the Rastaman, a lot of these things, the Rastaman never used to condone, and plus part of what I'm seeing is a lot of men wearing locks too, getting caught up in a lot of things that, you know what I mean, don't really represent Rastafari. And a lot of the times, Rastafari get blamed because they say, oh, locks man, and when the man say on the locks, they say he's tough. In the real times, they are not. But we still get the blame for it. So sometimes we need to stand up as well and share our position as well. And also try to show the youth them the things that we used to show them in the past. Because Rastafari was responsible for creating that kind of community and society that encourage even the youth who are at risk, give them an opportunity and an alternative to doing something positive and still make life amidst the toughness and roughness that they would have met outside, you know what I mean, in the outside world. So that's my position.
Right? Alan,
Uh-huh.
you were saying you had a few you had a few episodes. So that was one. Then you had others with other politicians. You said last night, sometime what Monday there was a who else you had other it
Oh
was
no, no, no,
spoken.
no, no, no! I was just giving my opinion in general, as I say, with regards to. I don't feel like it make much sense for you to say, for example, look on all of the waste what a politician they
Yes,
got. Look on the school in opening time and look how the school look. What me I say is
yes,
that you just tell me how something look, you're telling me the problem. If you don't
yes,
pan the back of that, tell me well by um this is what my maintenance plan gonna be. While we're talking about education, for example, this is just a random example.
yes,
Everybody talk about education right now and them talk about it, for example, from the skill standpoint. So
Mm-hmm.
they must say is either you academic, uh, maybe you could learn a skill. Nobody talk about art, and we have a
You fall on the skill. You put art on the
um.
skill, no?
You feel
Art
you
is different.
have you heard that there's gonna be an art school, any kind of music teaching up by the new buildings where they might put either in Gingerland into
But those in Ginger, those in Ginger, they build so they're going to have a technical center. It's not functioning as a technical center. Did he ever open a technical center? I don't really
I,
hear
I
nobody
the,
have
the,
come back with a
the
degree, anything like that. Anybody with a certificate, graduate with a certificate, anything like that? Have
I
you ever
don't know.
hear me?
I I see some
No,
young
any
ladies up there doing here, but I don't know
yeah.
anything else. Yeah. But
But
anyway, as
okay. Yeah.
as me say, so
Mm-hmm.
I heard a politician, and I heard all
Yeah.
of the issues about the school and all them kind of thing. The school them not open. Look how that they look bad. But and I hear a small little part about like a maintenance program. But then when you gonna tell me you are the minister of education in waiting, you're not supposed to be telling me about the things that we be able to do in education.
Of course.
If I be going in a this once again, not just one number example. If we're going in a into sustainable energy, for example,
Of course.
and we want to do STEM, why we don't in particular put the STEM towards energy, so that we're telling people by don't just go study STEM, but if you go study geothermal, solar, wind energy, these are the things rather than all the time. Look how much liar be a quote a year time. You ain't feel like with incentives in other areas, I could crank out something else. Maybe an engineer every now and again. Somebody else with some kind of different skills what we're gonna need in
Yeah,
division.
but
What we're trying to make funny.
we graduate every year. We have hundreds of people finish out to the high school. Up to now, we don't. They have work seminars, workshop seminars, and job
Indeed.
placements and different stuff where you
Yeah,
encourage people to study soil science and physics. You see we just keep doing the same bit. We're not thinking also a back shouldn't even exist. You see what I mean? We know we're gonna develop our country. You know, you're gonna need people specialize in every different in building, in soil science, in the environment, in you understand renewable energy. You're building a society, for the next 1,000 years, If you're not thinking this way, to specialize your people in all when it comes to art, music, every way for human survival. Well, you're really not. You should. You're not functioning then.
and
So
then
you understand?
and then even when you look on the art school, I like how as I tell you, like some people are argue for the culture arm of money, whereas the
Yes.
foreign artists have already who no getting deposit yet getting full money already. If you got art school, maybe you could produce something what gonna lessen your burden in a them kind of range there.
Yeah,
Even
but
if
but look, but
you
look at
only
this.
produce the band. Ah,
But look at this. You have my virgin Devon Anslin along with a lot of other artists with a lot of talent. You understand? As we Van have. We can put our people with this talent. It's like you can tell Van, why you went to school for me paying you this? But I went to school, so Van should be in safe this year. I even have his own school teaching people. We're supposed to make sure encourage people with this gift, put them under his watch and pay him, sponsor people. But I mean, come on, we have talent around here. The size of our country is not the problem, It's the mind frame of our people, and to develop our people is the
yeah,
problem.
but watch your bank, you end up wanting someone like an NRP politician again. You see where be just do there? What
But
me
we just
want is no because you end up and this is what NRP politicians are doing. Then they end up
Right.
and say, I hear Pat tired with this. Why don't we do this? Why don't we build a bridge? Why don't we do no? What me want you do, me want you identify the problem, and then
Yes.
and you could give Van as an example and say, look, we got a teacher, a potential teacher, because really and truly, um, even if he don't know about teaching, and this is if he want to do it too, but he might be able to be
Of course. Of
around
course.
people who teach and pick up the necessary skills, and then boom,
Yes.
we think gone. But I feel like people, I think, so different in their mind that art
No,
is
we should
something
use it.
where we should
Okay.
go towards. But me not hear it.
Is that even about Bang was just one example. You have
Hmm.
then get the place steel pan. You understand, look at the steel pan, how the steel pan is have just take up over the last couple of years, and you know we're coming entertaining and lot of youths involved, and you have Bingy, I mean beautiful musician, you know what I mean, when it comes to a drummer, passing on his skill set pull out to the youths and them. We don't have that in the art form like that with like somebody like Van. I'm not sure if you want to. I don't know the reason why. You understand? Because if you see, when you don't go through a school system teaching the youth these things, it's thousands of youth you teach, you pass on that your talent to your graduate. You understand? Being in this school, you have the area with Corey and them, and he teaching the youth and them in the different primary schools. We have a lot of resources over here. The best thing to do is always pass the kind of talent because it remains.
But,
But I
yeah,
mean, we are something different. You understand? And when people are in position, they think different. So it's not always they have their own ideas. You see what I mean? And if some people in the ideas, they see it another way. So, and I understand these things too.
so so yes, you feel like I'm being hypercritical of the politicians. You see, I ain't even gonna lead the witness. Cause me know why be me a you do, but what you think? I'm too critical. I asking for too much.
No, I think what's key for is saying okay, don't just identify the problem. At least give me some possibilities of some solutions, and also um, some plans. I know some of the responses might be. Um, I think I hear we bought this already as well, but um, the argument that well when we present our plans, other people them and make use of them. And I think I've heard you rebut that already by saying you ain't got no problem, ain't got no if they steal it. At least if it's a benefit for the island. If they steal it and they use it to benefit the country, then you don't have an issue with that.
No,
Uh,
but it's not just that. 'Cause if you a thief, me think all what me gonna say is it make sense. I give me the work. Cause
right,
he
right,
not like
right,
anything from me. So it better I just put me in charge. Let me do it because I don't got it clearly.
right, right.
So I don't see no fear in putting your policy out there. Our next question I want to ask you now because what boy you had a point last week where I even want to give Reese a job kick, but me couldn't give him a job kick. I couldn't get him to the computer. Reese tell me that he don't feel like politicians supposed to ask for for example changes in the constitution. He said if I've been not been asked for since 1967 when Anguilla bust off, then everything after that I'll be supposed to just accept and I'll be head. That sound right?
Okay, so why the bank still have and St. Kitts, Nevis, and Anguilla then?
That's just a business decision.
It's a business decision.
Yeah, but he say like we not supposed to ask you now. Okay, I like the fair share. He say I be only time be no ask for the fair share or when Anguilla bus up. Once I be decide I be a stop with singing, basically wherever singing Gabi, I be supposed to take right now. And it is not the responsibility of the politicians to ask for money.
When we said that, I was saying at the same time when Anguilla left, Nevis could have left the same time too. That is the
Indeed.
match of everything. That's what I asked
So,
you to say. Nevis should have left the same time.
oh no, but that not my question. The fact that
I
I be
know that,
choose to
but
stay.
I'm just saying what we say. I agree with you. What you say.
Oh, you agree with
Of
him?
course, of
So
course, I agree with you.
wherever singing Gabi, I be okay. All right. Listen,
Of course, because
I
it goes back to what you say, you know, the kind of body I carry the singing a court, you know, and the singing I carry is a court. So this way it means that of
no
course.
no, but you not even understand. No, Risa said don't even carry them a code.
I know
From the
that.
time.
I understand that. No, because we should have split, make a decision right then. And if you know, you know, you've been entreated. Can you see what's going on between Anguilla? And that was going on then, you know. We Anguilla come down and in the and shoot after them and after different stuff. So I mean, Nevis was so I
So,
know,
so
but
yes, sir.
I agree.
Yes, sir. What's your take? Do you agree with Mr. Trust? Is Mr. Trust
No, I
sound?
don't agree. I don't agree with Mr. Trust. I don't totally agree with Mr. Trust.
Okay.
Yes, I agree that no. When I say listen to me. I
Yes.
I I agreement in the point where since Nevis and Anguilla both had issues with the way Sinkits was dealing with them, that Nevis also should have made their move in the same way Anguilla made the move to separate themselves. However, since we up to stay together, then the
Mm-hmm.
conditions that we up to stay together under should be afforded to each other. And if there's issues, then yes, we need to sort them out. And if we need to go to court or do whatever it is to sort them out, then we should sort them out. Or Nevis also still have that option. And so part of the problem is the divisions, and that's what and that's why I keep saying I don't have much of an issue right now with most of the politicians per se. You know, I got a major problem with the people because the people is allowed to get away with a lot of these things, and the decisions that are being made are made because decisions are here of what they can do and get away with, and they do it and get away with it. If that
Could, could,
wasn't the
could,
case,
could you give me an example of something that the politicians are getting away with right now, in your opinion?
You can't get an example what I get away with.
right now, okay, so let's back to this same independence concert that is hotly debated right now.
Mm-hmm.
Have anybody? This is money that is going to be spent from your taxes. Was there any consultation or any form or means for anybody to
No,
determine
no, no,
even
no.
who international artists they want?
No, no. I'm gonna deal with that only. No, go ahead. Next point. There was no
Huh?
consultation. Go ahead. Go ahead. Next
Well, you
Okay,
point.
never
No,
get
no.
that.
Go ahead. Next point.
so they know that they could do these things and get away with it without it. Did was
What?
there any
What?
consultation in regards
So.
to
Hold on.
spending the amount of money for for
So
cultural armor and
so so so
ignore
so
education?
you're telling me what they're getting away with
They
is
get away
the alloc
because the people are not
is,
holding them accountable.
no,
That is
hold
what
on.
I'm saying.
No. You ain't saying nothing yet. You soon say something. I ask you what they getting away with. Are you saying that they're getting away with allocating resources, not consulting the people? What is the
Yes,
exact charge? Not consulting.
both.
That
Not
here's
consult
one.
allocating funds without consultation and making decisions for the people without consulting and even reporting.
Those are
And we
okay.
allow and we allow and we allow this. We have been allowing this to go along for years, which
Here
is
was
our responsibility as a people to hold them
here
accountable. And that is why they
hold
would
on.
say, ignore the noise.
Rasta man are gonna work with you. You know,
Mhm.
I in my Weber phase right now, so I'm gonna work with you, even though even though I do not agree with what you're
Uh-huh.
saying, on the front end.
Mhm.
I'm gonna assume that they are the worst and that there is a violation. There being a violation, the floor is open to you. You could give the people a policy prescription. What is the move to get the accountability? Because if you say them a fail, but your issue is with the people for not holding them accountable, how do you think? What mechanism? What advice you're gonna give the people so that they could meaningfully get this what you're speaking about as far as accountability and transparency?
So what one of my major advice would be to separate the political time and the campaigning time from the issues and be able to come together as a people on issues that are affecting our people, inform themselves more in terms of how governments operate and what our responsibilities are as the employers, and learn to take on our responsibilities by using whatever means and mechanisms when necessary. If we need to find lawyers amongst ourselves who would be willing to do whether it's pro bono or whatever it is, if the case may be, to get the issues where we need to get them, so we can get those who we elect to truly understand that we understand that you are only servants guarding our funds, and we want to make sure that if and when you're going to use our funds as you claim on our behalf, that you at least do what is your responsibility to come and consult with us before you make those decisions. And whatever we need to do as a people, put away the partisan politics when it comes to these things and address these things, because these things don't just affect, politicians and your supporters. Because right
Oh,
now, for
yes,
example, using the same example that we're talking about with the in the heroes, national heroes concert, this is something that you're taking our taxes. Remember, it's a free concert, You're taking our taxes to put on a concert. You're telling me that you had a paid event a couple of months ago where you're looking out for the benefit of our people the same way. Because this is what you say you're doing. Oh, we know cultural armor is not going to make any money. We do this as a contribution to our people and maintaining our culture and so on. And as a result, we go to the way to find monies to pay our people to do these things. And even within the cultural armor, we have the same issue that we are having now with this event, where those international acts who came in for the cultural armor would have been paid, given the deposit before they came in, and we had the locals who are going through still not being paid. And now we have another event set up, because some are arguing that they didn't get paid. I hear you, Banky, saying that some didn't get paid from last year. And we have another show
Look,
set up,
you know,
and
like that.
we have international artists, so it's not even just a local show right now, where we could argue and say, well, all right, we're trying to put some more money and inject it back into the community. You also have opted to bring international artists without even consulting with the people that put out a poll to say, okay, people, who do you all would like to see? Would you all like to see Taurus? Would you all like to see whoever else and whoever else? And then the people could say, well, all right, it
Yes,
was a part of this discussion. Yes.
um. So how far this gonna go?
How far
This
is gonna go?
because
very soon.
so for example, um, if we gonna buy cases of water for cultural armor, do we have to consult the people to get the thing to say, well, is Nelson Spring or Aquafina? How far this thing gonna go? How
No,
is there a threshold where we gonna spend and then we report to the people? Because then the next thing maybe I gonna do, I gonna make processes very, very long. If me got to go find out why be you think before me spend every dollar, when me ever get to spend the dollar?
Okay, so I like the way you have brought it out. So I guess there will be a threshold in terms of certain major projects then, or certain major expenditures.
The
How about
premier
that?
threshold, for major projects supposed to be how much ever more than a road. Me no want the premier do no more major project. Sorry to cut you off, sir, but it does traumatize me when I hear major project. Go ahead.
No, well, no, but whatever the major project is, no, at the end of the day, remember, like, okay, let's look at, for example, the airport project, a project like that. That is why they go through and do consultations, right? Or should do consultations. At the
Okay, well,
end, even
none
if they
the
still
artists
choose to do what they do,
are gonna get a million or no. So me got to consult you with that. What is major?
the, the okay, none the artists are going to get, none the artists, the
Don't get a
international
million.
artists are going to get $1 million. Do we know how much they're going to get?
Okay,
We don't know,
okay.
because that's what you're saying. You're presuming that it's not going to be, but we don't know how much they're going to
Rastaman,
be spending for these people.
Rastaman, one thing me willing to do with I and not willing to do with me. Me willing to work with I, you know. He gonna get a million. Is a million the threshold? What is a major project? Can you still not gonna run away from the question, you know? What is a major project? What's the number? And I want you to understand, however low the number be, handicap me.
Mm-hmm.
As a person who
Handicap
lead
you.
in the country. How you mean? It would be like if me know me supposed to be the parent but me are the child. Because every time me going to
But
spend the money I
but
gonna
who
tell me
money?
check
But who money you spend? No, you see, Alan, that is where you have the wrong concept. Because remember, you are my servant. Me ain't put you there to be parent. You're working for me. So if you're working for me and you're using me money, why you can't consult with me? At the end of the day, I trust you still enough to go and do whatever on behalf of me. But at least you
Yes
consult
son.
with me. So then, if
Yes
at the end
son.
of the day you
Yes
consult with
son.
the people, yes.
Yes son. Lab it about real business now.
Mm-hmm.
When them man put somebody to be the CEO of a company. Okay, for example, them
Mm-hmm.
banks, Banca Nevis and National got more assets than the government. That's facts right now. You feel like every decision them man make, they got to go ask a question.
If every question, every actual,
What, let me put it to you in a different way. When them man appoint these people in these positions, they don't give them a certain level of trust.
yeah, you got a certain level of trust, yes, and confidence, yes.
That's it. That's it. Go ahead. You can say whatever else you want to say.
But that is part of the reason why we elect you.
You want to elect me and you still want to micromanage me. That's what me I tell you, you know. Watch out. If we gonna micromanage the top man in the scheme, where the trust they then? This is like you got a woman and you tell she can't go nowhere. When she go, you got to go too. But I trust you
So
and I love you.
so so
But
so
but when you go,
so
I go. But I trust you.
no, 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 no.
Where the trust really there?
The example that you use, right? The example that you use in terms of the CEO and so on, right? I
Mm-hmm.
could I could I could relate to that. However, in this case, remember what we are talking here and what I'm pointing out here.
Mm-hmm.
These are the CEO. These guys are just some servants who we entrust to do certain things on behalf of us. And what we are saying is, if you are
So
going to be doing these things on behalf of us, you should be able to consult with me. At the end of the day, I still trust you to make whatever decision. So at the end of the day,
yes, sir.
when I say consult, it doesn't mean that you must do what we say, but at least we know if you didn't do what we say and you fail and you're coming back to me now to tell me you're going to raise me taxes because you had a project overrun or you did this. when I told you, well, when we told you that we don't think you should have taken that step. We don't think that is the approach that you should have taken. Because remember, you came back to me to tell me what you're going to do, and that is what should be happening. I'm not saying with every detail, like as you say, buying some water. But what you think a project like the airport, for
No, no,
example,
no.
that they have to do something like that, or when
You
they were
you
going to
you
build the,
you're
yeah, go ahead.
emphasizing this. You're emphasizing the servant angle. Doesn't don't the CEO serve the shareholders? Am I incorrect in
I
my
think that I
understanding?
break up. You break up there for a second. What you said? If the CEO did what?
Does the CEO serve the shareholders of the company?
Yeah, yeah, supposed to.
What is the difference between the CEO serving the shareholders and a politician serving the public?
The CEO is working for a private company or organization of which
Mm-hmm.
he or she is being appointed to deal with
Ma-
certain things.
maximize profitability. You're not got to go on.
And
The CEO of a bank, he want to make as much money as possible for the shareholders. He want to do the best he
right,
can. The shareholders
yeah,
appoint
but
him.
wait, but you see,
What? Go
I
ahead.
don't quite, I don't quite agree with that to some extent because even though he's the CEO, he might still have to be reporting to the directors and other people who is above him. In our case,
Okay,
those
okay,
people who
okay.
are above, those people who are
Rasta,
above these people here
hold
are
on.
us.
Listen, I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to give whatever you want. The board of directors, then, since you want it to be the board, no problem. We gone to the board of directors. When we put the board of directors in place, we give them latitude, and we micromanaging them.
We give them a certain level of latitude.
What's the difference between the latitude where we're gonna give the board of directors who got with money in their hand, and same way they can't lose the money and they can't spend on bad. Them actually under more pressure on not spend the money bad. What is the difference between them serving those people and a politician serving the public in the same service? Is public service somehow a higher form of service than private service? Me not understand.
Service is just that some
It,
have
it,
accountability, some don't have
You,
accountability.
Rastaman, right now you engage in a private service.
mhm.
Is the quality the way how you're treating this thing lesser than if you've been in a work for the government, it would have been somehow better?
No, but you see, no, I don't want to quite put it that way. The reason why I'm not going to put it that way, the
But
reason why
some
I'm
people
not going to
serve,
put it that
but
way
the service is
is
different though.
because,
That's all.
huh?
But the service is different. But you know the
Yeah,
service
but
is
that's what I'm
different.
telling him. I don't agree
Our
with him using
environment,
that. I don't agree with him using that example because there is a difference where the structure is concerned.
There
In the
is no
government,
is a service, is a
there
service,
is no perfect example I could give you. Is either you feel me
is a service.
as a Rastaman, is either you feel where me I come from and you understand by Alana try to tell me the fucking two man and them a serve, yeah?
Is a service.
Is either you feel me, you're gonna say, but I don't feel him, and I'm gonna find every qualifier, and the two of them are serve, but I'm gonna say, well, that's serve your left-handed, and that's serve your right-handed, and that's serve your. If you wanna do that, cool. If you
Yeah,
feel
sorry.
Alan as a Rastaman
You're
and you
serving the
understand that
public.
me I say
You're serving
regardless,
the
them
public
man
a
are
cell
serve.
phone, you know. You serve
Well,
everybody with a responsibility, making sure their food is safe and all this different stuff. Because you're doing a service to the general public at the same thing.
and
The job is different.
why I telling the Rastaman when you're doing it privately, you got higher responsibility.
Of course, of course.
Especially if you just you feel like you could lose shareholders' money. You could quicker
Yes.
lose the public money than shareholders' money.
Accountability is
So
different.
Watch here.
why,
If
Accountability is
why?
different. Accountability is
watch
different.
out, and now you want to feel me, but here's what I really trying to get to you. If the public was moving like shareholders,
Yes.
and that's what you want.
Exactly. So that's my point. I'm talking about accountability,
No,
holding these people.
no. You said that way you want, but when me tell you
If you're
the
not
two of
doing
them are
if you're not
the
doing
two of them are
if you're
solved,
not
you
doing
say no, they're different. You're finding everywhere to make it different, but then you want the result to be the same, and that's what me walk. You know, walk with me with nothing.
but you
All of
hear what
them
they
are
say within the same
all of
people,
them
you
are
know?
solved. Me try get where
Yes.
you wanna get, but you wanna fight me pan everything. Instead, you say, buy the real big thing what this man I try to tell me all of them are solved.
Yes.
All
Okay,
of them got
but
a
your point is yes,
responsibility.
all of them got a responsibility.
But
So that
and
is, but that
you
is why I tell
realize
you no. Okay, go ahead.
Rasta, you not got
Go
nobody
ahead.
who you can't agree with somebody, and when they talk, you say but. As soon as you say
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
you go say and, but not but. But guy, so yeah.
So okay, and the thing is, I am seeking to hold these shareholders, tell these shareholders then that they need to be holding these directors more accountable with your money, so that at the end of the day, they don't just continue to, as you say, these directors will want to make sure that they don't want to lose the shareholder money. We want to make sure that we are on that level that we are like the shareholders for these people, so that they don't continue to misuse our money and then come back to us and tax us to get it.
Hear what happened now. Do you feel like the analogy is over? You feel like you could wrap it up. What you're supposed to ask yourself even more, if you really start to feel me, is you're supposed to start to say, well, what is some of the characteristics what the shareholders then got? Because all what me try to tell you, how you could transfer principles over him. If you understand the general principle here, it could come back over. You were speaking and you were saying we need to get together as groups and talk as the community. When you look at shareholders, they are all interested in a particular thing. All of them want to see the company come up. Everybody is invested. Everybody is communicating about the health of this thing. If you want it to be like the shareholders, what me try to tell you too, don't watch the final result. I be need to watch the processes, and I be need to watch the characteristics. So don't just say, "Buy I want me people and be like shareholders." Ask yourself, well, what the characteristics are the shareholders here? How can them together? How them thing get so that it's successful? So that you could imply them same principles there within your community and get people to buy in and get people to be communicating about the health of the community and get people to be talking about, as you say, the issues where you're facing as that particular community, so that the shareholders and them feel interested, so that them feel like, well, by when the thing a come up, it benefiting me, I contribute to that, then maybe the idea, maybe volunteer sometime, but we go do them things there. We can't just say, as you say, I want my people be like the shareholder. We got to show them things to bring them together
Right, right.
to be these effective shareholders. Gentlemen, it's 11 no? And I know I don't care about Kamala, but I don't got to go watch, we watch Kamala and Dana. So, you all could say your final good evening, and
Yes,
we
I.
will link up again another time.
Well, yes, I mean,
Yeah, well,
was usual.
as usual, always engage in discussion. Always, good to have these what I love to call these kind of debates, because this is what it is, and I love the fact that we are able to do these things and have differences of opinion as a group, and still at the end of the day still be good, and we want to take up no knife and shoot one another and a gun and cut up one another, and you know what I mean. And so even this in itself, this kind of discourse, as simple as it is, demonstrates that which we hope to see as a future. And this is what I would want for our people to learn to do. And it is only in this way we will be able to shape some of these shareholders, as we are talking about, to get into the vision that we are seeing, in the sense of being able to have your differences, whether you may have your partisan political party differences, but when it comes to national issues, don't allow these directors, because part of it too is the directors helping to cause the dividing and keep the shareholders divided too, So keep yourself focused as shareholders and focus on the things that you would want to hold them accountable to, and we need to do that a bit more. Unless we do that, then there is like a game. If I know the rules of the game and I know my position and I'm playing my position, and you are in the game and you don't know your position, where you stand to lose, because that's what's happening. So the politicians, they know what they're doing and they play the game of divide and rule and conquer, and we fall into the trap because we are not coming together as a people and holding them accountable as we should be doing. So with that, my people, give thanks another opportunity to be on the topics, and we look forward to another discussion at some ranking of respect.
Yeah, man, and Jackson, beautiful show as usual. I mean, we don't always have to share the same views, but at the same time, we respect each other's views, and that's what reason is all about. If you're having a discussion with a group of people and everybody disagreeing everything you're saying, somebody telling a lie. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
no,
you go to
wait there, hold on. If you're having a discussion and everybody agree, you either at a CCM or NRP political meeting.
that's a light moment again. That's a next light moment. That's a next web moment. That's a good one.
Uh,
But that's reality, and that's how it should be. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to say the reason, hold your views, be as much sensitive, but at the same time, we just respect each other, and that's it. And that's what good reason is all about. But folks, I mean, we greatly appreciate you guys sticking with us. I mean, it's late, but yeah, I mean, it shows that you're dedicated to real entertainment network listeners. So we really appreciate you guys sticking with us. The end of the month, we're back up again with the topics, link of everything agriculture. Definitely, sometimes you think you have a lot of time, but the time is much thing to talk about. The time flies so fast. It's amazing how time to fly. But greatly appreciate you guys. We don't take you all for granted, and we appreciate the love that we've been sharing with entertainment through the years and everything agriculture. Until we link up again, stay safe. It's an Independence weekend coming up next week. A lot of activities. Keeping on. Be safe, and hopefully everything. We talk about crime and a crime-free independence, and still yet we're still importing all our food and all this stuff. We still don't have no females and no regular person around here. Just as a Boy Scout, politicians as heroes. I don't know what the criteria, but I mean, hopefully one day we have all these people like Teacher Bartlett, till a road name of a half government road, and so much other teachers, Admiral Swanston who don't transition from dress up and stuff like that, and you have Mr. Jones taught me at Bay School there, and teachers throw it around the whole of Davis and sing it. We really have got to change and make other people, you understand, national heroes. That's we should politicians should be national heroes. You know what I'm saying? You should be regular everyday people. Because if you're called to serve and putting up your own self as status, you understand? It's not, and it shows a lot. It shows the, it don't make sense. It just don't make the sense. It's just right in front of your face, and these are things we just accept these things. But that's I guess the next discussion again.
Well, well, I wanna say a special good night to my goat premier, Mr. Mark Brantley. And Mr. Premier, I just wanna tell you something. You can't go to Europe and get your toes out on the yacht and then come back and don't want to be a cuss. You second man in back on the work. And make it worse again, Mr. Bad Politics, dragging down CCM with your stupidness. You think Vance and me would ever get back to like us? Social media or no social media? Man, Sherry, need to hide your phone with the stupid morning message. I love your morning message and don't respond to nothing. Come on, man. You can't. How you gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe, man? You ain't see Beverly Hills Cop? You ain't supposed to be getting caught by them chicks, you know. You're supposed to come, and this is another thing where it's bad politics, Mr. Premier. You're supposed to be going against people who is your peers. You check? That's how come the Premier only could diss me father, and the Premier can't diss me, because me ain't nobody. You understand? So he got to go with big man thing. I mean, I could decide you too, because I your he peers. I your he bigger leg. But me and he no bigger leg. So how he gonna go give Daddy Spain what now? You can't be a cuss your artist them, Mr. Premier. Come on, stop dealing with all this bad politics, man. Anyway, I'm getting the signal. So good evening. I don't see how
Yeah.
Are you with the music tonight? Are you late with the music, boy?
Sorry, not Justin Timberlake, write me a river.
No,
Lately I be having conversations with myself, cause I feel like I have nobody to talk to. I be having conversations